Today I'm sharing how to paint textured fabric. Hi, I'm Denise from Salvaged Inspirations, and welcome back to my furniture painting DIY channel. Let's get started. I found this vintage chair curbside. It was heading right to our landfill, and I almost didn't pick it up. Not because it had chewed up corners, but rather because it's a textured fabric. And the last time I tried painting a velvet chair with texture, it did not turn out well. It was cracked, dry, and it looked horrible. So what a great opportunity to try again and have this as a build my confidence project. And that's what I like most about curb shop pieces. It's an opportunity for me to learn and have fun with. And the best part, no guilt if it doesn't turn out 100%. Once I had brought it down to my studio, it was time for a good look over. The fabric needed a good cleaning. The corners on the chair had been maybe chewed up by a dog because the floral curvings looked like they had teeth marks in them, and the corner of the fabric was all frayed as well. I also turned it over to get a good look on the underside, and this chair was really well built. It's a solid reproduction vintage chair. It is not an antique. I started by giving it a really good vacuum. Ideally, a steam upholstery cleaner would be best to clean this fabric before painting it. However, I don't have one, so I had to improvise. I first started cleaning it with my TSP substitute, which is a trisodium phosphate substitute, which can be used on fabric, but needs to be used with caution. TSP is powerful. It's a caustic degreaser cleaner, and it can be used as a laundry booster for hard to remove grime. But you should only use it on sturdy fabrics like this heavy duty upholstery. I wouldn't use it on anything delicate at all. And as you can see, I was pretty aggressive with it. I grabbed my dollar store brush and just started scrubbing away. While I was cleaning the fabric, I also made sure to clean the wood frame of the chair. And I have to say, this made a big difference. It really helped clean this fabric really nicely. After the fabric was all clean, I took out a pair of scissors and started removing the frayed corners from the fabric. There was also some damage on the piping because it was frayed so bad, but actually once all the frayed fabric was cut off, it looked so much better. Before painting this textured fabric, I masked off the wood area. So I just took some green painter's tape, took my time, and masked off the frame. My original plan or vision for this chair was to use brown paint and then layer it to make it look like a faux leather finish, and then paint the frame a lighter color. So this is why I started masking everything off. It turned out that the colors I ended up using were not what I initially envisioned, and I really didn't even need to mask off this whole chair. However, if you are going to do a contrast, I do suggest masking off to keep everything nice and clean. So now on to the fun part, painting this textured fabric. I started with the brown paint and a 2-inch synthetic brush. I would dip it into a cup of water, then dip it into my paint and paint it onto the fabric. The last time I tried painting textured fabric, I used a fabric medium, which you add into a paint, which is supposed to keep the fabric nice and soft. That did not work well for me. So this time I thought I would just try watering down my paint to a very thin consistency by dipping my brush into the water and then adding very light coats to the textured fabric. I worked in small sections, as you can see on the back of this chair, and made sure that my brush and paint were very thin. You could also do this another way. You could mix the water right into your paint and make a wash and then paint it on that way. I just find for me it's faster to dip the brush in some water, then add a little paint to the tips and paint it onto the fabric. Super easy. So once I had the back painted, I wasn't sure. I was starting to question the brown paint that I was using, the color that I had chose. But sometimes it's a tricky decision whether you don't like the direction you're taking, or is it just the ugly first coat? So I flipped the chair over and I just kept on going with the brown. Again, working in small sections, dipping the synthetic brush into a cup of water, adding a little paint onto the ends and brushing it on in sections. And really, it's not that you want to paint the fabric with a heavy or thick paint. You're actually dyeing the fabric with paint. And that's why keeping these coats of paint, you want the color and the dye to absorb into the material. You don't want a heavy, thick paint to just sit on top of the material. So using the water, whether you're using a spray bottle, whether you're mixing your water paint together, whether you're dipping your brush into a cup of water and then adding a little bit of paint, you want a really thin coat of paint going onto this fabric and having it sink in so the pigments are sinking in like a dye. I've painted numerous chairs or painted/dyed numerous chairs, and I will add a few here on the screen so you can look. I've had great success with smooth cottons, cotton/poly blend upholstery, and even vinyl. That's very easy to paint and it turns out beautiful. And I'll also add the links to these chair painting video tutorials down below so you can go take a look. For this textured fabric, it is a little different in that if it's not sinking in properly, you might have to pounce the brush up and down, as I'm doing here, because sometimes if there's a texture to the fabric, the dye paint or the watered down paint will just kind of sit on top and miss the texture underneath. So really pounce that brush up and down. And that's another tip I have for you. Use a really good paintbrush because you will be pouncing it up and down and kind of really working that paint, that water paint into the fabric. Cheap brush, you'll just end up losing the bristles and you'll end up spending way more time than necessary trying to get into all the little nooks of the textured fabric. So this is what the first coat of brown paint looked like, and this is what it feels like. Very soft to the touch. There's no difference in the feel of the fabric whatsoever. It's a very light first base coat. However, I did not like the direction this was going in, so it was time to pivot and switch colors. Before painting on my new color that I chose, I gave the fabric a really light scuff sanding. I used a 220 sanding sponge, and it might sound strange, but yeah, lightly sanding the fabric I think probably is helpful. Nothing aggressive, just a gentle pass, and it softens the texture slightly. I think it opens up the fibers and helps the paint absorb a little more evenly. So I had a base coat down and I pivoted to a darker, more moody color. The color I chose is called Black Sands. For my second coat, I thought I would try spraying the brush and the fabric, then dipping my brush into the paint and painting it on that way. It does work, but I actually like dipping the whole brush into some water and then dipping it into the paint. I found that the paint goes on much thinner that way. I worked my way around this chair and I was liking this color so much better. To get into the crevices around the arms, I just like pulling the material back and putting the paintbrush right in there. I let the paint dry overnight, and the following morning I came down and decided to try something a little different. I ended up using this Best Dang brush. It has natural bristles, it's round. I have another one that I use for waxing, and it works beautifully. This worked awesome. I really enjoyed using this on the textured fabric. It goes on so fast. It absorbs a lot of water because it's natural bristles. Then I would dip it into the paint and look at the coverage using this brush. This went so much faster. And this second coat was making it look beautiful. It was giving it a velvety damask look. I also painted right over those chewed up corners, and this moody black sands really camouflaged everything beautifully. Once again, I let everything dry overnight, and I came back down to remove the painter's tape the following day. Because it had been stuck on there for a couple of days, it's really stuck on there. So a great tip is if you have a heat gun or a hair dryer or hair blower, just adding a little bit of heat loosens up the adhesive on the back of the tape, and it makes removing the tape that's been stuck on there for a good few days much easier. The fabric did absorb the paint a little bit differently. In some areas, you'll see that some areas are slightly lighter than others. And I fix that up with what I'm going to show you right after we paint the frame. To prep the frame for paint, I gave everything a light sanding with my 220 sanding sponge. Nothing crazy, just a little scuff sanding so the paint will adhere. I also tried giving extra attention to the chewed up florals at the front two corners, just to smooth them out a little bit so those chew marks wouldn't be so obvious. And as you can see, as I'm sanding the front corner on this chair, the fabric is still very soft and pliable. Now let's give this vintage chair a dark, moody, more modern look. What I did was I mixed the black sands with a little bit of white cap paint. So I have the same base color, but it's slightly lighter than the paint, the full strength paint I painted onto the fabric. And this looks awesome. It looks awesome with the black fabric. I really, really like this look. This is a silk all-in-one mineral paint. So it does have the primer and the top coat included, which is a huge time saver. And as usual, I'll link all the products I'm using in the description box down below. The florals that had all those teeth marks or scratch marks in them look so much better when they were painted all one monotone color. And what fun. I have to say, I had a ton of fun working on this chair, and seeing it all come together, it really puts a smile on my face. I also wanted to add that painting the frame, the 2-inch synthetic brush works really nicely because I did not need to tape off the fabric. It really gets into the corners and it fits right underneath the lip of that piping, and no masking off was required. If you just pounce that brush right into those corners and you're going to get a nice clean line. Again, I let everything dry overnight, and I came back down for the finishing touches the following morning. And to even out the uneven looking fabric, I used black wax, and this was twofold. It was to protect what I had just worked on, the paint dye on the fabric, and also to even out the unevenness. Now, I think that if I had gone in with black sands for my very first coat, this probably wouldn't have even been necessary because the fabric would have looked much more even. But because I started out with the brown and then 2 coats of the black, I think this black wax really, really helped finish everything off beautifully. I would not suggest doing more than 2 or 3 coats on a textured fabric, and make sure those coats are very thin. I think that's the key to keeping the textured fabric really soft, supple, pliable, and comfy to sit on. Otherwise, you may end up with a cracked mess like I did my first time trying this. I've used spray-on wax for protection. I've used clear wax. I've used black wax, brown wax on my different chair makeovers. They do need time to dry and cure before you're going to be sitting on them. But once they are all cured, which depending on the wax you use, I would say at least 2 to 3 weeks, then it can be used as normal. And I've sat on my painted chairs, I read on them, my dog goes on them, and they've held up really, really well. As a finishing touch, I also added just a little bit of wax. I just kissed a little bit of that black wax onto the floral carvings just to give them a little bit more definition. And just as a reminder, here's the before. And here's the after. And I am so pleased that it turned out really cute. It reminds me of a velvet damask fabric. It looks way more modern. It has a dark, moody look to it. And I think it's just beautiful. And one less piece of furniture going to our landfill. I learned a lot with this, and I hope what I've learned will help you decide whether you want to paint a fabric chair or not. Leave me a message in the comments down below. Let me know if you'd ever try this or if you have. Also, feel free to like and subscribe here on YouTube, and you can also find me over at salvagedinspirations.com, where I have over 600 DIY furniture painting tutorials. Also, feel free to sign up for our free email list. You get all the projects sent right to your inbox. Until next time, have a fabulous week. Bye, guys.